this is Dirty 20 Game. My name's Kevin. That's Kyle. That's Bison. That's Roosbar. That's Man and Fuck This. Let's go. Put your links in the thing. We're late. Oh.
Oh wait, wrong game.
Wrong game. Put the cowboy away.
Very late.
Put that cowboy away. It's not Tuesday.
But I'm keeping the handcuffs.
Keep that. Well, you do what you like. Whatever makes you feel good.
Later.
Yes. Face plants into the chat. Well, that's okay because I just face planted into the chat too. Let's do this. There's all the links. Last time we set this up, I mean, you guys, you ended the last session polishing weapons and double checking loads and. Nobody, not one single one of you sent a letter to anybody or said I cared to anybody, but that's okay.
You don't get a group of sociopaths like this and have family you care about still around somewhere.
Literally, Jason is the definition
Yes,
of a sociopath.
I didn't have family to send it to. What was I thinking?
Oh,
I must be
the
mad.
only person I'd send it to, the only person Sink would send it to is himself.
That's true, and you just synced. So, and I realized I spelled it without the H. I see you've got it with the H.
I added the H later, so it's
okay, that's too late. I missed at one point. I missed Sync 2.0, but
out of sync.
So with that, let's just do this. You show up at the appropriate location, which is at an airport, of course, because you got to get all the way to the North Pole from here. And waiting for you is a low, wide flying wing. That's just the wing shape. It's painted white on the top and pale blue on the bottom. There's a crew of very professional-looking pilots and crew going over it as you arrive. Just on the other end of the hangar, there's a much smaller craft. In fact, let's do some rolling. Give me just like how perceptive you are. 1, 2, or 3. I'll let you decide.
Because it's actually a trade I took.
Yes.
You perceive things.
Yes, I am perceptible.
I have immediate dice jails.
Wow, so that 2 complete fails? Wow.
Yeah,
on a trips?
No, two complete.
2 3s.
2 3s, yeah, okay. But so 5 dice, all of which went poopy. Did you roll 2 1s?
I did.
Oh, wow, okay.
I did.
All right, so yeah, you totally, in that case, we're going to get to you in a second as you walk into it. Moose, what did you roll?
I rolled
loudly is what you rolled.
Yeah.
That's quite a surface.
One fail, 1 crit.
One crit fail. Okay, so that doesn't count. That's just a fail. All right, Sync.
I got 3s. 2 3s.
3s. So the only person that sees it is Jet. What was that? What were you going to do?
No, I failed too.
Oh no, everybody failed. Every single. Okay.
Okay,
perfect. None of you see a bloody thing. All you see is your transport, this white and blue flying wing.
If I might,
you might.
Can I do a little retcon? Before I leave the house, can I check my pocket of the jacket I was wearing when we went to the what was it, that gallery where the razor chick was?
What is it you're looking for?
I want to see if she slipped me her number.
It's actually a business card. It appears that the offer was literally to work for you, do mechanical work.
I think he's talking about the chromed mercenary.
Yeah,
you're talking about.
I'm talking about the one from the jungle.
The
other one. Oh yes. Yeah.
One I was sharing drinks with at the.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. In that case, yes. Yeah. You have the number. You have their number.
Yeah. I'm gonna ping her before I leave.
Okay.
I want to see if I can get her to come with us.
How many convincing dice would you think you can roll?
I think for that 3.
3? I think so. Yeah. Let's have 3 days. See if somebody can roll a friggin' success tonight. You guys did this on Roll20, and we blamed Roll20, but you just did it all by your own selves. So
we all did.
I'm gonna roll for my left hand.
The grin. Look at this. When it comes to maybe getting some, guess who rolled some successes? Moose, what'd you get?
3, 5, 6.
3, a 5, and a 6. They'd agree to come with you for a price, obviously.
Right.
A significant price. Let's call it $100,000 because it sounds like it's one of those going to die ones, and for them, $100,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah. All right.
And with 2 successes, that is all they agree to. Yeah.
No crits.
Jet will kick in on that.
Yeah.
Jet's going to help defray the cost since it's going to
Okay.
possibly be to help keep us all alive.
So,
Yeah, don't you two other chip in.
I mean, Jason has no need for money. He will literally probably just pay for all of it if it really comes to it.
Feedback's kind of Sinks put a lot of money into Helsinki, so he.
Mana, that blob is attacking you.
Yeah, it did attack me.
Yes.
She wanted attention, and then she very quickly decided she did not.
Oh no, not the feline ooze.
As the fuzzy blob.
That sounded way worse.
Yeah.
That sound like the gelatinous ooze sounds bad, but feline ooze sounds like something need to get treated, right?
You know,
Yeah.
maybe I'll put that in my next game though with feline.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
The valley is
that
being
leads-
invaded by feline ooze. What are you gonna do about it?
You know what that leads to, right?
Oh,
Cat scratch fever.
oh, of course it does. Yes, that is exactly what
I've
that
actually
leads
had
to.
that.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back on track here. You have hired a mercenary. Good idea. So melee merc. Yeah. I'll call them
Don't
Blade.
boo that. Don't boo that.
Too late. You've been booed.
Oh, Galena said no.
I have to put up with all this crap all the time. One time I do it, I get booed. You guys could just go hang. I don't know. Whatever.
Important question.
Fuck
Yes,
you. It's
this-
funny.
Does this wing thing have room for our vehicles?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay.
This is like a small scale. This is. I'm thinking like the B-2 bomber almost in size.
Okay.
This is a big aircraft. It's got a crew of half a
big.
dozen.
AC 130.
And you can hear them talking amongst themselves, talking about going in under the radar. And in this day and age, you guys are in for a ride.
Oh yeah, I believe it. That's why Jet's pretty much loaded into the clown car. I don't think anybody else is riding with him. It's just Jet, Zappy 2000, and as many destructive toys as
Yeah.
he can wedge.
Oh, yeah.
Jason probably takes honestly like half of his warehouse.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
to be fair,
Yep.
like a good third of them are untested experimental things.
You bet.
Yeah.
But you know,
Doesn't
he'll throw
matter.
spaghetti at the wall.
Yes. Hey, you know what? A failed experiment that explodes is a good thing as long as it's over there when it does it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Moose
That
is just
would-
loading can after can of 50 cal into the
Yeah,
back
oh,
of the
yeah.
truck.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, your new hire is just sharpening their claws on the door of the ship, on the door of the plane, ready to go.
Jet is going to contemplate squirting her with the bottle, but then think about it better and just put it away again.
Give me one of those
It's
perception
my
checks, and I'm gonna do this. Okay, yeah, there's that. Yeah,
5, 3, and a 1.
a 5, 3, and a 1. You see the muscle on the shoulder flick. You don't have time to react, but there's a hole in your water bottle. Just one single hole. So, yeah, just a little claw-shaped hole. She doesn't even look. And goes back to sharpening that spot and drying it off, even though they're clearly like titanium or something that's not going to rust. She's doing her nails. Leave her alone.
Well, then Jet's just going to go get in his car and pull it up the ramp if they've got room for it. Make sure
You-
to secure it with the straps. and-
You pull it up in, and there's a sledge basically that it's going to sit on. You strap your car to it. It's got like a not a like a curvy up front, not the full wrap, and there's no strings that go to the car, Mr. Bean style. But it is a big metal ramp at the front, and they are going to clearly drop you out of the back of this plane at a considerable speed. There's a much bigger sledge for the APC.
Axiom 17.
Jet thought about bringing the battle bag over the.
I
What
just
is
remember
Axiom
the
17?
Maxim 7. Anything can be airdropped once.
Yes, yes. So you load in the APC as well into the back. This is they've converted this thing to be like one of those rear door opening thing, like the Hercules, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go low and slow for a jet, low and slow, and you
For about
guys
5
are
seconds,
going
like
out the
sonic
back.
boom.
Yeah, with a small parachute attack, not to slow you down, but to keep you in a straight line until you hit.
Jet's gonna notice that, and he's gonna do some work on his
Yeah,
car.
I'll
while-
bet. Yeah, you guys got hours before you get there.
He's gonna start pulling things out, and
Yeah.
and he's gonna get a little glider on here, some jets on the back. I mean, if they're gonna give him a sled,
Okay. Yep. It's got
Yeah,
explosive bolts already. There is sort of it's Wi-Fi. When you park on it, you hit a button on your phone, and the straps holding your vehicle down all pop off, and the front slams down flat. There's a big sign on the inside of the flap that says "Do not drop until stopped." And you can imagine if you do that while you're still going, it's going to get ugly. Yeah.
no, we're good.
So that's built in. Anything beyond that, just let me know now. So now that you
Don't
know
forget
how
the-
you're going in.
The
Yeah.
glider and stabilizer wings, the rocket. Like Jet is making sure that he's gonna draw attention
Yep.
until the
And
APC can get close enough to wreck shit.
and at least be something possibly controllable-ish. Okay. Right. The APC is just going to be a rock on the way in. Gotcha. All right. Anything
Sync
anybody
presses
want
a
to do?
couple of-
Yeah.
Sync's got a instead of the gauntlet, you see this kind of like a Yu-Gi-Oh, like sort of laptop type feeling on its thing.
Yeah.
The arm blade,
Yeah.
which is clearly it flips up and it's like a series of screens, and loadouts and shit that you can't really read because it's going too fast.
I had to convert. It's where the quarterback keeps their plays on their arm with their little Velcro flap.
Oh,
thing.
like
Yeah,
that,
there you
except
go.
it-
A
except
lot
it-
higher tech.
Yeah.
a lot higher tech. and
Yeah,
there's this
the
big
E
thing
version of
that
that, yeah.
goes up like that.
Yeah.
And it's slightly
And
weaponized with an edge.
Slightly weaponized.
Well, of course, yes.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
definitely an edge. on it.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And
And I don't know why
He
I made the
presses a couple
conversion.
of
I'm the
buttons.
only old person that watches this. Yeah. But anyway, so,
he presses a
I
couple of
mean,
buttons
like
on
debate.
it, and he presses a couple of buttons on it, and his parka gets a little bit poofier
yeah.
because he knows that this is going to be
Okay.
a bumpy
Yep.
ride.
It's an airbag parka. I love it. Yep. Yep.
Smart tech.
Yeah.
He's got money.
Okay, I get it because you said it puffs up now. So when it hits, it actually pops and deflates, and the absorbing of the deflation is what actually. Yeah, that works. That's
It's like a
physics. Good for physics.
Physics.
Yes.
Have you,
It's like
have you
physics,
seen
but
the,
pronounced correctly.
have you seen the emergency helmets that they're working on in, like, I think it was it like Switzerland or Sweden or something? It's a little collar. It's like
That-
it
Yeah.
reads the G forces
Yep.
and you fall off your bike, it goes boom.
That's from the first place I ever saw that was in a book. It might even have been William Gibson. Hero protagonist was not the title of the character. Great name, but anyway, that's not this game. Anyway, let's do this game. We're back at the plane. What else do you do before you take off? This is it, the final mission.
Just gonna rig up some
Countdown.
external
Fiddly-doo.
speakers.
Yep.
To blaze the song that I linked in Discord. I know we
Okay.
can't play it without being DMCA'd, but
Yep.
It
But just so we know what it is, you could say it. You just can't. We just can't
Oh, okay.
play
It's
it.
Ready to Die by Andrew WK.
Okay, I was going to ask what was getting played. So yeah, so that's it. Oh, excellent. I assume that the APC is also wired for sound.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. What are you playing?
Well, the amp up is gonna be Born to Be Wild, but when we drop, it's gonna be Flight of the Valkyries.
Of course, the classic. Hang on a second.
Whoa!
Where's my
Scratch
page?
that! Scratch that!
Okay.
You know exactly what it is, Cav.
I knew it wasn't Ride of the Valkyries. What is it? What the?
No, Immigrant Song.
I
Oh
was
yeah,
thinking of
starting
doing
with the
the
howl.
song, or
Yeah.
of course Fortunate Son, but this just fits
No,
Jet
it's
better.
no. For
Immigrant Song.
me, it's got to be Immigrant Song. I gotta do Ringo good.
Yeah, got to do the full John Ringo.
Yeah.
I somehow lost the only piece of paper. Oh no, never mind.
The only piece of planning paper.
There it is. There it is. There it is. Whew. I moved it. I moved it from here to there, and then I lost it. But I found it. I was just about to go over there and find it, but no, it's not over there. So You take off from the city. It's raining, it's cold, it's miserable, because it's always raining and cold and miserable, not only in this city, but in those scenes. You fly off just above the ocean, and I mean, like, if the windows opened, you could smell the salt kind of low. You're amazed that you can't see the mist on the window of the Whitecaps. That you are so low. It's so frightening. It's into the absolute blackness. There's not a light on this plane. It's all but silent. There is a turbine, but it's electric, not fuel powered. It's all but silent. The only time it ever lifts is when it needs to turn, because you're flying so close it can't, like so close to the ground it can't bank. So they have to rise up to about 100 feet, turn, and then drop back down. They do this a couple times heading up the coast. You can see on the map in the back of the seats in front of you. No, you can see on your displays on your phones that you fly out and around Alaska. You avoid it. And then basically right up the exact opposite, or right up the international date line, essentially just between Alaska and America, right up between there. And up into the polar regions.
Crack.
Yep, right up the crack. And into the polar regions. Give me perception rolls. I want to see in the inky darkness. I'm assuming at least some of you are looking out the windows.
Left hand. It's tired of boxcars.
6, 4, and
Wow.
1.
Oh, so one success and I'm not sure what means. One success?
Sorry, yeah, 1 success.
Okay.
2 and a 5.
So I've used up my crit.
Moose, what did you get?
I'm too busy making sure all my gear
you're
is good.
checking gear. All right. The two of you that rolled 1 success see a couple of very surprised-looking fishing boats as you blow by lower than their mastheads. You scare the hell out of a group of feeding orcas. The 3 of you see this, and they just, and there's like this school of mackerel, like, thank you, and fuck it off out into the ocean. But only sink. You happen to look out at exactly the right time, and it's weird because it's almost like, you know, the monolith from 2001? It's almost like that sticking out of the water. It takes you a second to realize submarine sail, gone. And then you're over the ice. Ice is weird shit. Even though it's dark, even though there's hardly any moon, and even though it's cloudy and you're below the clouds, you can still kind of almost see. It's all shades of blue. But if you really think about it and really focus and look more out of the corner of your eyes, which is better with, I know that sounds stupid, but you literally, the periphery of your vision is better at seeing light and dark differences. The center is good at color. You kind of move your head around a lot and you'll see better. But with that, you can almost nearly keep up with what's going by the windows. Glaciers and broken chunks of rock, and at one point you assume it's a science thing because there's no oil rig beside it. A little science station goes past on the horizon. Then it gets really banky. They have to get a little higher because it's a huge broken ice field, and they're just like the low-level equivalent of flying through an asteroid field. It just banking, and this is a bomber, so these banks are not like I'm doing here. It's just, oh, we're gonna hit it, we're gonna hit it, we're gonna hit it. No, I guess we're not. Oh, we're gonna go too far the other way. It's very slow and gives you lots of time to think about your never-ending imminent doom.
At this point, Sink is closing his eyes. He's just like, nope.
Beyond that, and down onto the infinitely flat ice. Till in the very distance, you see a single blue spark. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, just before we get there, Jet's just going to be like, gentle beings, in case we don't even make it to the ground, it has honestly been an honor. I don't normally like working with other people, but it's been great working with all of you, and I hope we all make it through. If not, I'll hack your accounts and spend your money wisely.
That might be the best motivational speech I've ever heard. Fuck him, I'm spending my money.
And if they do make it, or like whatever, Jet does have Jason's backup.
Yep,
so
he does.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's no hacking involved. It's just here's my entire being.
Yes, yeah.
Congratulations.
Here's a copy. Yeah.
Sink's response is like, when I get to Night City, I'll be sure to name a drink after you.
Oh, I just
Dude.
saw. Yeah.
Dude, I hit the freaking power on my armor.
Yeah.
Have the heavy machine gun on my shoulder and say, if we don't make what?
And then stomp into the APC and strap down.
Yeah.
I just saw a question from quite a ways back in chat. It's synced because at the end of the last episode, he stopped cheating. Feedback was a failed clone who was pretending that he had gotten all the information by carrying it in basically a tablet. Yeah. And at the end of the last episode, it worked, and the copy the update actually loaded finally, and now feedback is complete. So they're not really feedback anymore. They have synced, so they changed their name. Yeah. So there's that.
Quelle surprise, indeed.
Yeah. So everybody's locked into their vehicles at this point. Is that the plan? Yeah, because
Sync
now
is riding with Moose.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
no room in the party car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jason's honestly with Jet. To be fair.
Jason's with Jet. Okay, that works. Two of you in each vehicle. Perfect.
Jason can
where's
be with Jet because Jason doesn't actually need a lot of room.
I was like,
That's true. Yeah, you can
like,
just be. You can
he's
be.
a small little disc.
You're in the cup holder.
He's a disc. He can't fit. He's a disc.
He's in the CD player.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Or
Nobody uses those anymore. So that's
Yeah.
It's
Little
no,
cell
it's,
phone holder
yeah.
wedged into the fence.
One of those ones with the suction cup stuck to the window.
You hear like a little indignant like brrr from it.
So, who's the mercenary going with? Which vehicle?
Well,
You, Moose? Makes sense. You hired him.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So the three of you are in that, in the APC, and I'm going to call it the clown car. The two of you are in the clown car. Excellent. Sync. There's a bed in the back, basically, a lot of straps on it, and a cyber deck sitting strapped to the wall next to it.
There's a full data suite back there.
Yeah. But this is, you get a message from this is the first of the messages from your new patron who says, you're going to have to hack your way live time and navigate. It's going to be a bit of a challenge for you. And meanwhile, in the other car, you hear that aimed at Sync, but you then hear, oh, and Jason, do you remember? Oh, of course you do. You have an eidetic memory. Nintendo games. Remember what happened if you go up, down, left, right, A, B, X, Y, X, Y?
Jason just simply responds, yes, of course.
Yes. And yeah, you have, you hear, well, this place has a version of that. We're not sure how many steps you have to take, but as you work your way in and do whatever else it is you're going to do on the way in, you are going to have to find, we're not sure how many security codes that have been used by the front door in the past. If you can find enough of them before we get there, we won't have to hack the door. We can open it with that.
Jason will ask,
have I got a side game for the two of you?
Yeah, right? Oh my God.
Both of you, there's a side game for. So yeah. Yeah.
But Jason will ask, is there a mother code? Like, is there, or are they all individual?
I will be able to reach into the system and remove only one code at a time without being noticed. I will then pass that to you, and once you find it and match it, and confirm that it is in fact one of the ones we're looking for, you can let me know and I can pull the next one. So mechanically, how these two things are going to work.
I already have like my notebook and pen
all right.
ready.
No, that's okay, because I got a better plan. We're going to put feedback. Oops, hang on a second. Open my maps here.
So we're going to flick a couple switches on the center console, and the
Feedback
EOR station in the
there.
back is going to fire up.
And put mana there. Can you both see a page? So,
sure can.
All right. So what you have in front of you, because you odd first, is a list of 100 random 6-digit numbers.
Mm-hmm.
There's 100 of them there. They're 6 digits each, and they are not in any particular order. At the end of each of your turns, you get to do one thing. We're gonna skip the 2 actions per turn thing that normally goes with Tiny Frontiers because I want this to be fast for reasons that will very soon become apparent. You get to do one thing in your turn, and then between your turn, at the end of your turn, I'm going to type a 6-digit number into chat, and you have to find it in that list of 100 before your next round.
Okay.
No control F. We can't cheat.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's in the map. How am I gonna cheat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
Okay.
Sync.
Great. Kevin's giving everybody homework.
Uh,
Numerical where's
you guys,
Waldo?
because
I
you're
wish you
driving
could
and doing
see the
stuff are a little bit
map
different,
in
but
front
you
of
got
me.
your own problems. And plus, I didn't want to run 4 side games at the same time. That's too much. But so yes,
I
that's
wish you
your
could
game.
see the screen.
The other map. This is what
got
you
some funky
see
shapes.
when you first link into the system. It's another one of these schematics. If you remember the last schematic, you have no idea if this is a direct representation of the world or whether it's just a schematic representation. You see all the paths are in black, and you see the representations of the two vehicles like you're waiting for your food to be delivered. You have 2 tasks, one of which you will do in your turn. Well, both of which you'll do is kind of in your turn. But let me get this right. You have to hack passwords. You see the wall ahead of you? Like you see the lines go squiggly, squiggly, and then there's a gray wall that you can't see through?
Yeah.
That's because there's a password. Before you get there, and by the way, the vehicles move 3 squares per turn. By the time they get to that wall, you have to have found the password, which takes a hacking roll, which takes up your turn. So every turn you can either navigate for them because they can't see this map, or hack the password. Make an attempt to hack the password to break that wall. This first wall is only gray ice. So if we do the math, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you got 4 turns. And you have to figure out how to give 4 turns of instructions in 3 turns and then get it right. So that's your challenge. We'll leave you sitting on that. Does that make sense?
So, yeah, feedback immediately starts to strap into the data suite. You hear the crinkling of ice cubes and fans start up. So
and G suits wrapping around you because you're gonna do this while going boom, 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 across the Arctic wilderness at extreme speeds. And
the thing that kills me is that for like Jason would be able to find it probably in like less than a second.
Well, the thing, I have an answer for that.
Okay.
The actual list is billions and billions and billions of numbers long.
Okay.
And Jason scans millions of them per microsecond.
Okay.
So to scale that to human forms, you only got 100.
Human ability.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So the
Probably
other
good
2.
You didn't have an edible before this.
Oh my God, man. Wish I did,
right.
but also glad I didn't.
All right. So the other 2 of you, your fun game is slightly different. Because you're driving and you're weaponing, this isn't just driving. This is driving on ice, around sharp corners, down unknown regions with somebody navigating in your ear like a rally pilot. So that's bad enough. Shooting in an icy environment while drifting is also challenging. So you can do either drive or shoot with advantage, or you can try and do both. But if you do, you will do both with disadvantage. And you're going to encounter shit as you work your way through here. Basically every time you go, the mechanic is every time you go around a corner, I roll to see what's there.
All right.
You're at this point, your melee specialist is sitting in the back seat. Like, I'll be the spokes of the, like fingernails out each side. Like I'll be the spokes of the chariot, I guess. Yeah, that's about all they can do. They got no range, right?
We'll need them when we actually get into the building.
Yes, that is exactly. Yeah. This is someone you should get there. All right. Does everybody understand your options?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to let the 4 of you decide what order you go in, and then we're going to stick to it until we're done. Until we get to, this is just getting to the mansion. This is just the ride there.
I would say the person giving us directions should probably go first.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Yep.
So Syncs first. Yeah.
And Jet has the faster of the vehicles. I feel
Fair.
like the lighter and faster the vehicles, and he's also souped it up to try and give it more speed because
Okay.
it's in the name.
All right. Well, in that case,
Jet,
Sync, Jet's car can go 4.
Okay.
So that means you got 3 turns if you give him good directions. Because they haven't heard, like I'm not letting you talk to them about what the deal is until the scene actually starts, right?
Okay.
After
Now,
Jet.
To clarify, Jason starts when they get there, right? Not beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jason can probably go last. Jason,
Fair. So yeah, Jet and then Moose. So the 2 vehicles sort of go back to back.
That's why I want to clarify, because Jason can't do it until they're actually there.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So
Well,
Jason
see, the thing is, Jason, though, I will point out, this makes sense because Moose is driving.
Okay.
You are in an armored personnel carrier. There is a cannon on the roof. There's machine guns sticking out the side.
Jason.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm sorry. Right, you're in the other vehicle. Never mind. There's. You are instead. Pardon me. Wrong vehicle. You are instead. You can hardly sit in the CD player for all the grenades and all the Jet goodies and your goodies that are in this car. So whatever you can think of, if you want to combine them on the way, so you get one thing you can do during your turn, and then when you say I'm done my turn, that's when I give you the 6-digit number and we move on.
Okay. I need to DM Kyle a question.
So make sure you got that page open and you're ready to look.
Yes.
All right. Sync, you drop in, and I know what it looks like on the map. It's not quite right. Think Tron, and not like Tron 2000 or whatever it was. I mean like old Tron, where it looks like neon light bulbs reflecting off of the floor underneath with the grid on it. Yeah. That's what this room looks like. And you can see, and it's weird because you're used to this big 3-dimensional, this cyberspace, right? It's some of it exquisitely rendered. This is literally like looking at a tablet. You're in cyberspace with all that available, and you're looking at a 2017 tablet.
Yeah, he's like, it feels like we're in high school again.
It's not even, no, it's worse than that, because it's not even like a TomTom or a GPS, because there's no map underneath it. It's just lines, right?
Yeah, he's like, it feels like we're in high school again, trying to hack our grades.
But on top of that, weirdly, is 2 of the images for the 2 vehicles are, like I said, they're like the one is almost exactly the same as the DoorDash car when you look on the map. that's the Nanabat Kyle car. Sorry, wrong name. That's the Jet car. It's a Jet car. I just got that. How come I've been calling it a clown car for so long? It's a Jet car, of course. No, it explains why it's fast. Oh my God.
It's Jet big.
It's literally a jet car now. It's a jet car. Yes, it is a jet car. My mind. That's why I got no hair left. It's too many times. So, yeah, let's do this. Let's not piss about. Sync. That's what you.
Rocket battle car.
Yes. Sync. That's what you see. They have no idea. You hear, just as you fade out, you hear the back door of the plane starting to go bzzz, and you can feel yourself and the other car cut loose. You're starting to go down the rollers.
All right.
At like twice the speed that anybody's ever done this. Like the Hercules, they get so slow when they do it, and the Jeep still slides for like 200 meters. You guys are sliding for a while. What are you doing, Sync? What are you telling him?
He says, it shows up in text on the windshield.
Yeah.
Like just sort of like a little heads up that apparently wasn't actually installed, but he did something.
Yep. It's all good.
It's all good. It's just left, right, straight, right. So when there's a fork, that's what his instructions are.
And stop. That's enough talking. So I hope at least one of them wrote it down. That is the... so this turn, you do not get to try and hack it all. All right. Jet, you get those instructions.
Yeah. Can't do anything with them until we're actually like down on the ground, though.
Absolutely. So you're like, what is it? And then, yeah, you, at that moment, you guys all feel like you all felt the roll, but there's kind of it's got to be a sickening moment. The ass of your vehicles just falls out of the plane because the front's still on the rollers, but the back is falling into the wind. It's getting held up a little bit by the wind, and the parachute comes out, and bam, you get hauled backwards out of the plane. You can see on the monitors and out the windows of the vehicles, the plane just goes, and it's, well, it does make that noise because I said it was electric, but it's gone. Because it's so flat, it's white on top. You realize it doesn't just work from above, it works from down here too, because it's white on top and there's white mountains in the distance. You'd have to be right underneath it to see the blue, and not, which wouldn't work at night, but nobody's there. You see it lift up to about 75 or 80 feet, so it doesn't even go as high as it was when you guys were on it, and does this very slow bank. And it's gone. And then, bam, on the ground. Oh, no, sorry, Jet, you want to fly, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Jet's got the stabilizing wings, the fins, the rocket, the whole thing. So he's going to try and take this for as long as he can.
Okay. Jet. In the air, you hammer the rocket buttons, and you're now flying.
And point of order, the rocket button is a giant red button in the center of the console that says rocket on it.
Oh, okay, I thought it said do not press. But that's
my
favorite.
No button that Jet will not press.
Yes.
Go, baby, go.
Yes. Just rocket. You hammer the button, all the letters fall off because it's a one-time use button, right? This is done, right? The button cracks
The
under your
letters fall
thumb.
off because it's going so fast.
Yeah,
It's pretty
they
much
get
one
left.
of those,
Just flap, and now it says rocket backwards on the back window.
Yeah.
They came off the back.
It was just pretty much one of those. Was it the Office Depot that was easy buttons that he just rigged?
Okay.
Oh God, yeah.
So,
That was rocket.
6. Yeah, that makes sense. 6 spaces, not 4. 6 in the air. By the time you hit the rockets, you're down in the valley. You got dropped into like a giant ice crevasse, and you look ahead of you, and there's splits and changes ahead of you. You are screaming along here. I need to. You come to the first intersection. One of them goes straight, and one of them goes to the right. What do you do?
My instructions were left, right, straight, right.
Yep, that is correct.
Well, I
Wait,
can't
where
take
the
a
hell
left.
is he?
I can't take a left yet, so I'm going to go straight until
All
I
right.
can take a left.
Where the?
You get to there, and you take. So I'm sorry. You said you're going to go straight because
I'm gonna
you've
go
got
straight
straight
until-
and right. Those are your choices, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go straight until I can take a left.
Yeah.
And
It was
try to
left,
still.
right, straight, right.
Yeah, left, right, straight, right.
You
Yeah.
see, Sync. You can't say anything, but you see that.
Okay, because
Do you get what's going on yet with these directions? Good.
straight or right.
Two.
Moose, you heard the same set of instructions. You hit the ground, man, on this sledge. And, I mean, ice or not, you're going through the rocks. There's sparks flying in the darkness. The what's playing? I forget again. You've hit the ground now, so you switch tracks.
Immigrant song.
The immigrant song, yeah, just across the icy plain. The polar bears and the seals and the narwhals are all going, dude, you're on the way by, right? You're on a mission, right? It is clear as day.
As soon as I feel that impact of the sled hitting,
Yep.
I hit the button to pop the connections.
Okay.
So the rebound
Yep.
brings.
So
the
you
AC
leave
out
the
of
sled. Okay. Yeah, you leave the front of the sled up, but you're falling out the back of it. Gotcha.
No.
Oh, okay.
Because it's gonna hit,
Yeah,
and
and
you hit the
Impact.
jack, and the sled's gonna hit resistance, but
Yes.
the rebound is gonna lift the APC up.
oh,
out of
I
the
see where you're going.
sled,
Okay.
and just gun it,
Okay, I got
and
you.
it's gonna shoot
Yep.
off the front of it.
Give me a driving test.
Full on Mass Effect Mako right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, yeah, baby.
Boy.
6 and a 5.
A 6 and a 5. You slam to the ground in the rearview mirror for a second. You see the ramp coming like it's going to catch you and crush you, and then you catch traction and pull away. It turns sideways and does the inevitable brrrr off into the distance in the rearview mirror, just like it's designed. It looks like a Mako. You slam to the ground. The cart does that Baja 1000 thing where you're kind of only touching every once in a while because you're basically on ice and you just kind of steer the arse end of it every time it lands.
It's a Mako.
You are heading for. You had the instructions as written. There's a right and a straight, and you see the overhead.
Yep.
Still flying,
Blazing,
heading straight.
blazing its own song.
Yeah.
I'm going to go straight.
Yeah. You're also going to go straight. All right. So I didn't get actually where you were. So that's the. Okay. I got to back up a second because we didn't get. I'm new to this game. We didn't finish the complete movement here. We're not done yet with Jet. So Jet, you go straight on that first one. You're waiting until you can go left. You're coming up now. A straightaway ahead of you that continues on, and about halfway up, there's a right.
Oh, I started on the wrong bloody square.
No, look at the map. No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Nope. It's my map. I'm telling you, you didn't start on the wrong side.
Well, no. I assumed that I was actually heading in that direction of the bloody. Oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah, don't hit the walls. Yeah, don't hit the sides.
Yeah, no, don't hit the
Okay.
walls. But
Yeah.
I assumed that it was going forwards, like the icon was oriented towards its direction.
Oh, I'm just using it to mark locations.
Yeah.
So
No, that's okay
did Sync
because
give
if
us the wrong
you gave them
directions?
no, let me put I can see your face. You gave correct directions.
Oh, good.
There's a difference between your map and the snowy wilderness that they're racing through.
Yeah.
Okay, so my map isn't accurate. But
I talked about it earlier, the difference between a schematic and an actual map.
I got this, yo.
Going
Okay.
straight. Jet's gonna just keep going straight.
Keep going
That's
straight.
all.
All right, so that's 1, 2,
oh,
3, 4.
No. Oh no.
You see them. That's where they get to. Sync, you're going, oh no, but you can't say anything yet. Now we get back to Moose. Skidding towards this. There's straight ahead and to the right, and your instructions are to go left.
Going straight.
Going straight. Bam. Get you to there. You're whistling along this passage, and you see in the distance, actually, all you see is smoke at this point and going down ahead of you. Oh, wait a minute. He goes 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah, I forgot. Back up again. Sorry, I'll get this right. That's only 4. You did the rest of this.
I'm gonna crash him into the fucking wall.
You are screaming now down this hallway, Jet, and ahead of you a T intersection.
There are more rights than lefts in this.
Yep.
So let's go right.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You get to there and carve it to the right and get to there because that was 6. So now I'm really honestly done. Even if I'm not, I'm done. So I'm not going back to fix it anymore. So back up here. You go because I want to make sure we get this, give everybody a clear idea where they are. Moose, you go straight at the first intersection. You look ahead of you and you just see a smoke trail going down the valley. Halfway down that valley, there is a trail off to the right.
That's
2, 3. In fact, at
that-
the
I
end
was
of your
just further
turn,
ahead.
I just did this. I just did your full movement. At the end of the turn, you're still moving. You can either turn or not, but you can now see these two options really clearly.
The T intersection?
Nope, you're still heading towards the straight line. Way at the end of it, you can see the T
Oh, okay.
intersection, and then halfway between you and it, there's a road that goes off to the right. You just skid up to it at the end of your turn, so you don't actually have to decide this turn. You can scream at sync before you have to make your next decision. Jason.
So Jason's fine
Yep.
because he had his 0G chip installed.
Yep.
After they went to space.
Yep.
So like they are like, and Jason's just chilling. Like he is completely unbothered by the insane speeds that they're going. Now he is, you know, I'll give you that he's like wedged in the visor or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like his disc.
Yeah.
But Jason at the end of the day is a hologram and he can project as whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than projecting full size into the very cramped car, he's projecting at like, maybe he's like a foot tall, right?
Yep.
And he projects himself
like the little hula dancer on the little solar powered hula dancer on the dash.
Like clamber over all these things, and Jet probably hears like clink, 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 right? You know, like as Jason is rummaging through this thing, kind of like a rat, mouse, whatever, and he starts to tinker, and he finds within the car some of his stuff, some of Jet's stuff. But what he's doing is he's building now. If it goes boom, Jet has it, right?
Yeah.
Which we really gotta hope we don't crash.
Yeah, really don't crash. But so he's tinkering, and what he's doing is he's starting to. I'm assuming this is going to take more than a turn, but Jason can't really help with directions or driving, so he's doing other things right now to plan for when they get there. He's modifying some of Jet's explosives with a delayed response. And what he's doing is he's modifying them to track for them, so that he can roll them to excrete not an explosive, but a luminescence that's visible only to like a mechanical eye.
Okay.
So that they can track where they're going when they're inside. So he can kind of roll it down a hall, kind of like a Hansel and Gretel breadcrumb type of thing.
Okay.
But it is like, it's more of like a tracking device. Now it can explode if he like commands it, like he's programming it to like, it can explode in a big flashy bang.
Okay.
But what he's doing is to like excrete them. But he's working on things. He's working on things.
Absolutely.
Right.
So give me a tinkering roll for that, and we'll see how you get going.
Yeah, that's 3.
So crit fail the tinkering roll in the car full of explosives, screaming down an ice valley at 3,000 miles an hour.
No pressure.
That is a 5, a 5, and a 3.
Okay. Yeah, you you basically take an explosive that was supposed to spray a chemical, and you just cause it to leak over time. So yeah, basically, that's easy enough.
Because also, if they need to, what he can do is he can just kind of light it on fire and make the whole place go boom.
Marking explosives. We'll just call it that.
Marking explosive.
I'll not know what that means. All right. Is that it for your turn?
Yeah.
You got your list. You got your list up, ready to go?
Oh God. Yep.
All right. 3, and it's going to come up in Roll20 chat.
I was gonna say, is it Roll20 or Discord?
No, I'm even going to tell you. It's in Roll20 chat, and go. Sync. What are you doing? This is what you see. This is the map you're looking at. They're headed to infinite doom and destruction. I see what you mean. Okay, go.
Yeah. First one's an emoji of a moose. It's going to be straight right. Picture of a rocket, so jet. A do not enter sign, kind of a U-turn. And then that would be.
I was smart.
Left and then left.
So U-turn left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. With U-turn left, jet. You get to this next corner that you know nothing about, and you kind of look around it, and ahead of you, the valley just ends, like the crevasse just closes up.
Yep.
Well, it's also the sort of like the do not enter signs. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay, the instructions I had were not clear, and there was no magic 8-ball to shake.
The map is not my fault. The map lied to me.
So Jet's going to try and pull a bootlegger's turn in a rocket car.
Yep, the vertical. Yeah, oh, absolutely, a vertical J turn. Actually, technically, it's an Immelman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go in, get halfway around, turn, and come out the other way. Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna try an Immelman in a hand-built rocket car. Oh yeah, in a crevasse near the North Pole. Magnificent.
At least it's in a crevasse and not a crevice. You know, it's slightly more upscale.
Very
a crevasse. Yeah.
The crevasse.
Yeah. It's a crevasse. Anyway, yeah, give us a roll. This is your car. 3 days. I want this to work.
I want this to work too. I definitely don't want a TIE fighter into the Death Star wall.
Where's the earth shattering kaboom?
Here it is.
661.
Oh, I saw the one first, and I was like,
you pull so many G's, everything goes red, and then the vision comes down, and you can hear the metal creaking. Oh, it's just, you can hardly hold on to the steering wheel, but you get spun around coming the other way. Just to help poor. I'm gonna start aiming them now for Bison's sake of mine, not Sinks, but for Bison's. So you pull out of that. You're still just barely below ice level. You drop down, and you were told that's 0. So you were told, I saw you make a left noise.
Yeah, left.
So
and
1,
then left.
2, 3. You come around that first left. You come along halfway down that thing. You make the other left. You just see Moose getting below to it, kind of skidding, trying to look and figure out which way he's going to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you were told
left. It was U-turn left. That's all I got.
U-turn left. So that's 1, 2, 3. We get to there, facing that way. And what you see ahead of you, from where you are, you're looking forward down.
He's not still moving 6, is he?
Oh yeah, he's still flying.
Oh, fuck.
I'm still in a rocket car, bro.
He's not. And I have
thought
decided.
Momentum would have slowed him down a bit.
Oh, he's still powered at 6. It doesn't. The only way that's coming down is if he chooses to land, or if they hit something, or if he fails one of these rolls, he's going to crash.
Oh,
but until then, no, you're given.
This is why you don't put me in charge of this.
Yeah, this is why I put you in charge of
If
this.
he hits something, he's going from a 6 to a 0. Right click.
So basically, but yeah, crank around the second left. You go around the second left jet, and there's another left there, and a straight ahead of you. There's a short distance and a T, and you're still moving. What do you do?
Well, first I say a quick prayer. I plan to give Sink such a hard wedgie that he's in underwear for a week.
You can see that this first left is a dead end. I'll give you that.
Okay. To keep going.
So you
and
thrust, you whoosh past that, and now you're heading for another T intersection. You have to decide one way or the other.
Right didn't work out very well for me last time, so left would actually.
Sorry, I'm supposed to be muted when I did that.
Straight left would take me back to that. Right, we're just going right. Fuck it.
Okay. Around the corner. You hear all of that without being able to respond, Sync, and then you see that.
As my wife calls me a dumbass.
Well, look again before you call him a dumbass. Right. With that, Moose.
What the fuck's he doing?
You just saw him go that way. It's like, it's like the scene for the new Thor movie where they're like, "We're going here." She's like, "All right," and she pisses off. And a couple seconds later, she just comes back. They basically just did that. The jet car went, boom, and it came back and went the other way.
What the hell is an aluminum falcon?
The aluminum falcon.
Aluminum
I gotta
peregrine.
go.
What are you doing? Are you following him?
No.
No? Okay. So you're going straight?
No, I'm going right.
That's where he went.
Okay, then I'm following him.
From where you are, yeah.
Okay, I'm confused. I'm following the directions.
Good, you're confused. I love this. So whistle around the corner. That's 1.
I'm not paying attention to what he's doing. I'm paying attention to what I'm doing.
Okay, so what you see ahead of you is this valley that you're in. There's a left that you can tell is shallowing up. It's going to be a dead end. And ahead of you, there's a straight line and a T, and you can see the trail of smoke turned right. You're gonna 1, 2, 3.
So I went
1, 2. Yeah, you're gonna have to make a decision. You're going either left or right with the momentum that you're carrying, unless you're gonna brake.
Moose got a straight right from me for this one.
Yeah.
So we did have instructions.
Yeah.
My first choice was a straight out of a straight and a right.
Yep.
My next choice is what?
Left or right. And then
Well, there's your choices. You made the right.
Well, I'm-
Then there's a
I want
left or straight.
I want to know. I don't care what anybody else is doing.
Yeah.
I want to know what I am seeing as far as my options in the order that they're happening.
Yep.
I don't care where Jet went.
Yep. So from the beginning, you came in. You were told left, right, right.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know what I was told. I
Yeah.
just want to know what my options are as
Right
I'm
now, a dead end to your left, a straight stretch that tees, and you got to pick one of those. And your final instruction that you have not followed yet is right.
Yeah, like I said, I just
Yeah.
want to know what
Yeah.
my options are as I see them.
Yep.
Going right.
Okay. Excellent. So 1, 2, 3. You come barreling around a corner, and you see just ahead of you, up in the air, the jet plane, because he's leaving on a jet plane.
I don't know if I'll be back again.
Yeah, we none of us know if we're gonna be back yet. The way this is going, we might not even get to the end of this challenge because we still haven't. Yeah, if you guys get to the
I
door,
haven't had time.
yeah, we have to
This
password. I
jackass
know this is
going
great.
6.
Jason, what are you doing?
You know, Jason, he feels Jet kind of going
Okay,
like
yeah.
back and forth, and he kind of stops tinkering, and you hear this very itty bitty voice from in the mess, Jet, and it just goes, "Are you okay?"
And Jet's like, I'm doing great.
Now, Jason at this point does trust Jet almost implicitly. So
Mhm.
he goes, "Okay, if you require assistance, just let me know." And he kind of like goes back to like tinkering around,
Yep, making more goodies. All right.
making more goodies, pretty much. And
What was the? Did you find it?
I did, yeah.
Remember, where is it?
so in my map, can you see marks that I make on my map?
I can in a second.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of circled and highlighted.
Oh, yes,
or
you did. Yes, you
underlined it.
did. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There it is.
I was
Great.
like,
I like
was
that.
smart
Thank you.
about that because I was
Perfect.
like, hey, look, I found
Yeah.
it.
All right.
Yeah.
So I had them numbered, but yeah, perfect. So
Okay.
yeah, you and the first one clicks in. So that one registers a little green dot. So step 1 complete.
Okay,
Now,
perfect.
then you start tinkering again.
Mhm.
All right.
Oh God, I'm ready.
You're getting lots of time now. These guys are being slow. And there you go. Sync, what are you doing?
A very quick blast. Slow the fuck down. I have shit to do. And I'm going to hack the wall.
Okay. That's actually I see your logic. Yep, gotcha. Okay. Give me a hacking roll. It's 3 dice. It's only gray ice, so
Fuck me. 2, 3, and a 3.
Use the fake
Oh.
tip. Oh, wrong game.
wrong game. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you and it's like you keep looking back and at what they're doing and trying to figure out the rules here, and yeah, you failed. You just failed to hack it. Give me a resistance. So 1 die.
Yeah, that's right.
It's only
I'm
gray
not.
ice.
It's not
So-
Mr. Box.
Yes.
3.
3 does not. So you take 1 point of damage from this as you try and get in, and it's just your deck gets sorted, and that kicks onto you. Jet, what are you doing? Sorry, man. That's
Well,
it.
I
That's
was-
all you got for that round. Jet.
I was told to slow down, so Jet's gonna just hammer another button.
Yeah.
The slow down parachute is gonna pop off the back.
Yep.
The jet is gonna cut down to about a third speed.
Okay.
He's gonna all the bolts are gonna blow
Yeah.
for the sled. So he's just gonna jerk back and let the sled
Yeah.
keep going for a little bit.
All right. So if you were
Then he's
traveling
gonna-
6 before, how fast would you like to be going when you landed?
Let's go 3.
3. Okay. So basically the same speed.
Because I think trying to slow down anything more than that, even with the parachute and everything,
Yeah.
it's gonna go real bad.
Yes, it is. So you slam to the ground. Give me that driving test.
Woo! No, 666.
Oh,
and I
ooh.
can show you on.
Yo, I believe you.
Cameras.
And Roosbar, the answer is nothing. How many channel points for a crit pass? That would be 0.
Sweet.
You just come to the ground and you do that thing where just as you touch the ground, you cut the parachute and you poof, just in front of, like, Moose, you see the bottom of his car through the window. And then poof, in front of you, the parachute comes up, whips past you and into your slipstream. Jet, ahead of you as you land and kind of grab control of the car, you look up, there's a sharp left-hand turn coming.
That's the only option?
That's the only option.
Well, at least I don't have to make a choice besides
Dude.
wall or left.
You come whistling around that corner and there's another one right away, like another left. Again, no options, just
Tokyo Drift style.
yeah.
Boom, boom, boom,
You
boom,
kind of,
boom, boom,
and for the
boom.
first moment as you come around that second corner, all that drifting has slowed you down to where you want to be, which is good because ahead of you there is a straight valley that goes ahead, but there is 1, 2, and at the far end 3 right-hand turns. And you have no instructions. Luckily for you, you've done moving for the round. Moose, there's only one option. There's nowhere to go. You got to follow. So 1,
Yeah.
2, 3. We're going to put you right there. You guys are basically, why not? The valley just got wider. So you guys are now side by side, screaming down this valley. Oh, Brain, thanks. Like the Germans going through Kasserine Pass. Thanks, Brain. But yeah, that narrow valley at the bottom, the tanks just up, kicking up dust, or in your case, snow and ice behind you. But yeah, you are both, with no instructions, looking at 3 right-hand turns in a row. Jason, you find it?
Well, first, when Jet slows down, you kind of hear this, like, almost like a squeak, like a metallic squeak.
Yeah.
Because Jason, like, it was not expecting, like,
Oh, yeah.
and also thinking kind of, I like that it doesn't make sense to Jason, like, map wise, because, like, I can't see what any of these
Yeah.
guys are looking at.
Yep.
So Jason is, like, completely absorbed in creating all these little gadgets and things like that. Like,
Yep.
he has his explosive tracker. He's just creating, like, little things for them, like,
And at the same time, you basically got a RAM search going on in the back of your head, just looking
exactly.
through
So he's
raw
so
data.
focused
So
on
yeah,
everything except for the travel.
yeah.
right?
So you're just boom, 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 boom. But yes, you find the second one, lock it in.
Yeah.
Now, just to put this, we talked about this earlier, but in Jason terms, he's now searched like 7 million entries
Right.
and found 12 of the, of the 99 that he or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
You don't even know how many you need to
Oh,
find.
yeah.
So,
For sure.
and you're just
For
going to
sure.
keep tinkering for now? Or what are
he's
you
gonna
doing this round?
come
Anything
out-
special? Okay.
No, well, he's gonna come out from like the, everything that's packed into the car.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, project himself onto the dashboard next to Jet, like
Yeah.
almost like that hula dancer, but he's just
Yeah.
kind of standing there. And
Yeah.
he sees the right turns and he kind of looks to Jet and goes, directions? Like, as if, like, because he doesn't know if Jet has any or not, right?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah. Jet doesn't actually let go of the steering wheel, of course. But he's like,
The driver shrugs, huh?
"Mm."
Because, I mean, you're still driving at a high speed on ice, right? In the dark,
oh, yeah.
in the bottom of
For
these
sure.
crevasses.
Yeah, but I got all weather tires.
Oh, yeah.
That's-
Yeah, all weather. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what all
um,
weather tires are good for? They're good for crashing in all weather.
Yeah.
They're yeah.
Now, I realize that this is probably going to be a disadvantage, but Jason's going to run a very, very quick, like, risk analysis on the options based on what he's felt in the movements to be like, which one might be best? He doesn't know,
Oh
but he's gonna
boy,
try.
that's bold. Yeah, disadvantage for sure. 1 die.
Okay. 5.
A 5.
Fucking A.
For 1 success, I'll give you not the first one,
Okay.
not the first
So-
right.
Okay. Jason will just kind of like look, and it'll take him, I mean, in Jason terms, it probably takes him like 10 seconds. But he'll just look and he'll kind of assess and go, not the first one. And then kind of like climb back to,
Yep.
to
And
his thing.
as you look back down, the next number comes in. Go. Sync. Still no password. Still no instructions.
Help me, Obi Wan
I got it.
Kenobi. You're my only hope.
He is
I
not.
got
He's
this.
not getting an answer for you. He's hacking again.
Yep.
Thank fuck. 6, 5, and a 2.
A 6, a 5, and a 2. All right. Bit goes away. Biff. And you can see beyond it. There is, I know there's a thick gray line, that the vertical line that's covering a path. There is a path down there.
Just like those don't.
Yeah, they don't match up. I know. But that is what you can now see. But that's your turn. Jet, you heard in your ear, not the first one. Your speed is 3, so you've got 1 space forward, and then you've got to choose whether to go right or go straight.
Which side of, like, am I to the right of Moose or to the left of Moose?
I had you
can't
to the
see this
right.
map, so okay.
So, yeah.
Uh,
And yeah, I guess technically the two of you are almost side by side, but yeah. You've got the inside lane for these corners.
We're going to lead this up to fate.
Okay.
Evens, he goes right. Odds, he goes straight.
All right.
We go right.
All right.
The six calls it.
You scream around this corner and look up at a glacier. It's just straight up. You are not going to be able to turn back this time. You're going to have to pop the surface and find another place to drop back in. So you're going to become radar visible briefly.
Oh,
I got
thank
something
fuck.
for
I thought it
this.
meant he was going to crash.
Oh, no, not in the first one. No, not unless he double won it. He's still got a roll, actually, technically, but...
Okay. Do you want me to roll before I do
Yeah,
my,
please do.
my
Actually, no.
check
Let's do this the real way. What do you intend to do before you roll?
What I intend to do is pop up, hit a button on the dash. That button is going to eject a heat signature drone. Moving fast and firing off in a totally different direction. Still just staying above the surface.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right.
Almost like chaff or whatever.
You bet. Brilliant. Yep.
And then try to land and find another way down.
Give me a roll. 1 success for the chaff, and anything beyond that will get you back down into a hole safely.
We have no comm. Other than my hack, we have no comms between the vehicles.
I've been allowing the information to go to both. I'm assuming you can talk to both at the same time.
551.
551, 2 successes, yeah. So you get up at least, and you do that sort of flat roll, inverted, fire the flares up. They bugger off in all different directions. It looks like a fireworks show. Oh, they're green and purple and blue, so they kind of look like weird northern lights. And then you snap roll around and drop.
It was about them Duke boys know they was in trouble.
They was in trouble. You was in trouble though too, because as you you're not even flying anymore. So you kind of drive up the end of it, back around the wall, slam to the ground, come spinning around the up on the surface, slide across and slide back down. It's like a Rocket League. Slide back down the other side, and you are now heading back directly towards Moose. There is 2 lanes here. You guys were side by side before, but yeah, you got back down to that. But you're so now instead of 3 rights in front of you, you've got 2 lefts. The first one, don't go. You know that's a bad place. You were just there.
Yeah. And the one we just passed, the one that I'm going to come up on is I'm assuming is the one that Jason said don't go into. So
that is correct. The only
you
now know by process of elimination that you need to be behind where you are now.
Can I communicate to Moose?
Absolutely, you can yell that.
Moose, not the one I took.
Well, you see him skidding down the wall, parts peeling off of this tiny little car. Bam on the bottom.
My headcanon was that he disappeared between like a piece of ice as I drove down the middle. Because we're driving side by side.
Absolutely, yeah.
I took the middle road.
Yeah, and you just keep going. Absolutely. So
I'm following my instructions as I see them.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't have any fucking instructions.
So you go past Jet, who's going the other way.
I went straight down the middle.
There's the slow-mo where they just sort of look at each other.
And there's only one,
No, what I see is I'm looking through the window and I see him driving beside me, and then a wall of ice
Yep.
separate the two of us. He disappeared. I don't know what
The
happened.
wall
to
of
him.
ice ends and he's gone. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've only got one corner left, man. There's only one place to go. You screech around the corner to the right, just in time to see a big wall of ice in front of you just explode. Just, I know you know what this looks like. It's a bunch of tiny explosions. This is not a boom. This is a controlled explosion to move ice, and it just clears this valley, just and just throws the ice up out of the way, leaving you a way forward.
Like a
Well,
very
kind of a
loud
way
signal.
forward. It goes forward and then turns right, and you can't see where it goes from there. But that's the end of your move. Jason, find it?
Okay.
I take your word for it. Did you find it? I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Then, this next round, what are you doing?
Okay. So Jason has kind of stopped tinkering at this point. He's looking at the codes he has, right? Because she kind of told him if you can find all of them, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
He's kind of looking for similarities between them. When there is that like little incident where like they almost crash,
Yeah.
he kind of comes back out and he opens a comm to sync, right? To see
Yeah.
if he can connect to sync,
Yeah.
right? And it's like he probes sync of like, hey, directions. Like his sync probably doesn't know that they don't have direct. Like sync gave them directions and
Yeah.
it just could have failed.
Yeah.
Right? So he goes, hey, directions. And then
Yep.
just disconnects.
Actually, no. The quick response you get is turn the fuck around.
Yeah.
And Jason,
So-
now that he kind of has the personality, Jason will literally go, no shit.
This has taken a tremendously lot longer than I thought it was going to. It's already 7:30. I just looked. So we're gonna narrative this because we haven't got to the fight yet. We're not even to the fight. So suffice it to say, this continues for some time. These bad instructions, terrifying things. Pieces are getting broken off of your vehicles. You're bouncing off the ground. Eventually, some of you are going to fail some rolls. There is one thing I want to show. As you grind them through the map, sync, you see something. You see...
Ruh-roh.
What?
Well, you were asking about patterns earlier, and there kind of nearly almost is one. Well, there's more than that. There actually is one. I'm going to drag one of these cars along here so you can see it.
I fucking thought so.
Just so you can see it. There, and there, and there, and there.
I thought I saw something.
There you go. For those that aren't, I should bring the rest of them along over to this map. Hang on a second. I'm going to expose everything here, and then just bring the rest of the players over to this map because we got, like I said, we're going to have to sort of skip this, but let's do that. So this is what, for those of you that are just getting here.
I'm looking at a black square.
Oh, so I haven't got it. I haven't got it. Everybody.
It's over to the right.
Well, you only see where he is right now. Let me fix this. Let me turn off the dynamic lighting. Just do that. There. You should now be able to see the whole thing. That was the map that he had to try and lead you through. If you hit walls, you were dead. Or you were going to crash and knock parts off your vehicles. But you started down there. So, yes. So he was right. Left. Now, here's the thing. Here's what completely, and I intended it absolutely to screw you up, and it worked. Left and right were only relative. So on his map, he had to go left. You were presented with right and left. Relative of those two, or you were presented with right and straight. Relative of those two, straight is left.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was interpreting it as.
So yes.
When you said, "Do you realize what's happening here?" I was like, "Oh my god!"
But for those that can't see, because we don't have the map up, they basically the pattern that they would have had to run to, and by the rate that we're going, it would have been midnight before we got to the end. It would have been great fun, but it would have been hours. It spells Harlequin Redux through the snowscape. Anyway, let's get to the fight. As you get to the end of this, all these tunnel runnings, the last one to explode is actually a giant an ice door. When you get to that one, it just folds in on itself, and like it's actually on pivots, it actually opens and slides, revealing an ice mansion. It's all ice. It is the most gauche, gaudy, tacky, over-the-top shit you have imagined, and you've been in this guy's mind more than once. This is... You slide at high speed past a sign that says Santa's Mansion as you slide towards it. There's lights shining on the ice to make prismatic colors. There's pillars. There's huge doors. You can actually see through the front into this massive living room. And you can tell from here that the floor of that living room is actually ice. And there's 2 huge ramps that go up on either side, like a classic old Victorian mansion. You are approaching this at speed. Moose, I can feel from here. I can feel your spirit. They're not antlers. They're not antlers because they
They're
fall
comb.
off.
It's a
They're
It's a
comb.
rack.
Yeah, they're a comb, but
Yeah.
they're a rack. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, I can feel your spirit animal rack growing in. The APC we haven't mentioned before has a picture of a moose on the front. And the logo is his grill, so you can boop the but yeah. What? Pray tell. I know you've been waiting like 12 episodes to do this. What do you do?
I'm hitting my red button.
Uh,
My red button fires off a couple of 6-pack nade launchers
Yep.
into
Yep.
the front of the building.
Uh-huh.
hedgehog.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
and just a
Yeah.
bunch of a mix of frags and incendiaries.
Yep. Absolutely. So just in front of you, Jet, you see that just the front of the APC just goes bleh, and just vomits massive amounts of ordnance at the wall in front of it. What do you do?
Does it look like that ordinance has cleared the way?
It's going to clearly, but I'm going to make you decide what you do before you see what's behind this wall. Like, I mean, you can see the living room, but yeah, this wall's gone by the time your
oh.
stuff gets there. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah, and hand and foot are coordinated.
Yeah,
Bonk, bonk. There's- and I'm hitting it. I'm
ramming
hitting it.
speed. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Jet's gonna slow down
yeah,
just enough to let the APC go
Yeah.
ahead
yeah.
because it's
Yep.
the jet car is pretty tough, but
Yeah.
better to let the wrecking ball go through.
hmm Yes.
So
It's
just gonna
getting black
kind of-
smoke at this point, but it's still a pretty tough car.
All
But
right.
he's not bringing it home with him. There's
No.
part of the reason he loaded everything.
Well, yeah,
explosive he could
nothing's
get
getting
his
back
hands
on the plane. So,
Yeah.
yeah. People in ice houses shouldn't stow explosives, but never mind. Speaking of explosives, the entire front. This is another one of these stacked things that he's so proud of, and you've seen this in the Amazon already. It's like Greco-Roman pillars, and then a Victorian front on top of that, and then a Gothic level on top of that, and then cathedral spire. It's just all the styles, and and yet somehow managed to not pull off eclectic, but it's all done in crystal clear ice, so you can see through it, but it's all prismatic because it's all bent walls, so you can kind of see through it. It's like trying to look through diffraction grating. Moose, what does all the ordnance look like when it hits that glass structure?
Oh,
And
it's
yes,
just,
the entire facade can come
yeah.
down without wrecking the encounter inside. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
It's spreading out.
Yeah.
It's like almost like just this big cloud of smoke and then trails, right?
Yeah.
And it all just sinks in,
Yeah.
and a half a second you can see like it almost seems like it didn't do anything, and then it all just erupts into a big ball.
As it explodes,
Flame.
the new
Like
track.
ballistics gel.
As it
Yeah.
as it explodes, a new track sounds. What is it?
Oh,
I think Dax got a good one.
The 1812 overture. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So just exactly like icy fireworks all the way up to front of this facade. And just like you've been watching on the way here, it does that weird thing like a mining pit, like I was referring to earlier, does where it kind of hangs there for a second
Oh, dude.
and then it all
For
comes
real?
down just twisting into this reverse cyclone of just ice. And the thing is, it's ice, so the more it collapses, the more it shatters, and the finer it gets. And it's just like a mist coming down the valley at you that you're driving through now.
For real,
Couple
man,
bigger pieces here and
Barracuda.
there. Yep, go. You know this. Tell me.
Barracuda is what's
By heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That scream again at the start. Barracuda. And then in. Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. Love it. So yeah, you're driving through. You can't even see, but you know, and there's nowhere else to go. Just go straight. You were aiming straight.
Yeah.
You blew the wall apart. Just drive through the haze, right? So yeah, purple haze would have worked too. Pale blue haze. Bits and pieces of larger chunks of glacier flying past you. Even recognizable pieces of ice furniture this pretentious prick has had made, like Louis XII ice furniture. He went to the ice hotel once and liked it, so he did this. You know, that kind of levels of stupid. But yeah, you burst out the other side behind you. In a much smaller vehicle, these chunks are probably less majestic and more terrifying as they bounce over your little car, your non-heavily armored like the APC in front of you car. You don't quite have that ooh cow. Is that the same cow moment? But it's almost like that. Like it's that level of blindness. But you're kind of in the draft of the APC in front of you. You can see the tail lights.
Was that a cherub?
And it was an ice gargoyle, but it's been slightly melted by the explosion, and now it looks really cute.
At this point, Jet's just going to kind of keep following until he sees something he needs to blow the shit out of.
The two of you, out of the ice-shattered front, the building falling away behind you, the light pouring down into this now faceless mansion. You've got just a second to see bedrooms and things above you now with walls blowing out and very expensive shit precariously balanced on the edge of all of this sort of crater that you've created inside of this ice house. In front of you, it's essentially a giant skating rink. The two ramps to the sides did have like robots on skates coming down towards you, but it's all collapsed in with this explosion. I mean, you guys shattered this place. You see on the far side of it, a door opens. One door on this side, one door on that side, and at the same time, finally reacting, you see Harlequin, and for the first time face to face, but you recognize him from his book hollows, the holograms in his book, Iran. They look at each other with just unfathomable levels of hatred. And just before they slam the door out of just sheer rage, they realize what's happened and look out into this amazing wreckage. They both forget each other in an instant. The door slams open and two infinitely powerful beings step into this room. And you hear from behind them, click. Oh, the key does still work. Hello. And in through the back, spinning a little thumb drive on a piece of string on their finger.
Sync hits record.
Yeah.
Jet too.
I was gonna say Jason's already recording his identic memory, but other people don't.
Spinning his thumb drive on their finger. I think the two of you have quite had enough. She did it and he did it and shut up. And these two ancient beings do. And she holds up the thumb drive and said, takes it apart, and there's two halves to it. Like takes two caps off of it. There's one on this end and one on this end. One USB port. If I put this end in the computer, you'll be ruined. If I put this end in the computer, you'll die. Convince me not to put this end in the computer. But she did, but he did. And she just doesn't even look. Just puts the end in the wall. Harlequin in robot form freezes. Just down in the ice. Iran looks, starts to smile like somehow he's won, and then he's forgotten all the technology inside of him that's keeping him alive.
Pacemaker, motherfucker.
He drops to one knee, then the other, and you can see him with his last spiteful action. He tries. I'm going to give him a chance. Why not? He tries to not fall on his ex-wife when he dies, and he fails. And in death, unlike in life, they lie face to face with the rictus of rigor mortis setting in, causing them to smile at each other. The eyes peel back as though they're staring at each other with great love.
And Zappy 2000 fires the confetti net. Like, not even just hammer the button and fire that net of plasma.
Right.
Just to turn them into chili con carne.
It sits on top of them and like a bug zapper. There's just the outline of them left on the ice, burned into dust. Harlequin looks at the four of you and says, "Oh, I feel good. Oh, thank you.
First time getting revenge, huh?
Yeah, oh, that could be a habit. Oh, but for right now, we've got some unfinished business." She looks at the four of you. She says, "I told you I spent all my money that they gave me to do this. And I did, but one of the ways I did that, I didn't have enough, so I needed more. But I wanted to do it in a good way. So, you know blood diamonds?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not paid for, stolen.
Yeah, like Jason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did is I found all of them I could find. And I bought them all back from the people that owned them. And I told you it was a lot of money. I took that same amount of money and I started a charity. And not a fuck around charity, but a charity that works. And they went to where they have to go, and they made sure that the people that did the work, or at least their relatives, got paid for what they did. We made more millionaires in 24 hours than Africa made in 100 years. And with the leftovers, we did this. But the amazing thing about diamonds is they go up in value, especially when they're made legitimate. By rebuying them and legitimizing them, by paying the people that should have been paid, they're all now papered. They're worth 100 times what they were before. So I could do all that, and I still... And they reach over and touch a panel on the wall. And an ice wall has an ice secret door that opens up that has something that's not invisible in it that you couldn't see. And it's just a leather briefcase. Yeah. It's just a leather briefcase. It looks so out of place here because it's just very plain. It's got the little brass corners and it's tattered a little bit here and there. And they put it on the ice. They're still quite a distance from you. They put it on the floor and kind of push it with their heel. It slides over towards you. And about halfway there, she says, "Open," and pops open. So when it slides around in front of you and stops, you look down and there's 8 rows of little paper envelopes. There's 50 in each row, so 400 of them, all with the papers. Probably worth 3.5 to 4 million. Don't do them all at once, you'll kill the market.
Oh yeah, no, you can't flood the market. And that's
No,
wonderful.
of course not.
I need to really do one more thing here before we go on. Jet's gonna get out of the car. He's gonna go over to where the imprints are.
Yeah.
He's gonna just pop his fly.
Yeah.
Jet is so angry still at being put in this position.
Yep.
And there hasn't been a chance for a bathroom break since they left.
Oh, so lots.
That's for making me do
many
this.
coffees. Well, here's the thing. It's all made out of ice, and they're just like ash. So you can literally pee them into a puddle that's going to refreeze as yellow ice with ash in it.
And
That
it'll
will
be
be trapped
together
here at the
forever.
North Pole forever.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a poetic
You walk around in a
aspect to
circle.
it.
I will give you enough to walk around in a circle and rinse all the ash into the middle puddle.
While he's doing that, I'm
Yeah.
going to go pick up the case,
Yeah.
close it up, toss it into the APC.
Oh, that's not leaving, but you can take my plane. And you look out the back now, and she goes, oh, of course. And she hits a button. It's like Wonder Woman's plane. You can suddenly see it. You guys had kind of stealthy. There was a B-2 bomber sort of conversion. This is like visually stealthy, not to mention radar stealthy. Yeah, that's what you didn't see in the original hangar.
Okay, well, then I stop.
Yeah, I had to come in sneaky and you had to come in loud. That was the only way I could get in the back door. I wasn't sure which of those passcodes was going to work, but thank you, Jason. It was the fourth time's the charm.
Jason just kind of looks at her with this look, and he just, again, he's starting to understand emotion.
Yeah.
As if I would fail. Like he's like just kind of like really kind of offended by that.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, question: are you staying here, or are you leaving this place and never coming back? Because that kind of tells me what I'm doing with all of these explosives that I brought with me.
Oh, well, I love that. And she points down at your puddle, which is now rapidly freezing over. Oh, I know. And they run over to their ship for a second and come back, and they put this sort of piece
Like
of
ice cutter.
almost, but they lay this string out on the ice, and they hit a button, and the shield shimmers over and sort of makes a sort of a 2-meter cube that's got your melted bit of ice in the center of it. So yeah, blow the shit out of it, and then this will go off, and in a couple hours, the field will fail, and this will just be sitting in a field of icy rubble.
Perfect.
Like a
All
piss
right.
bird bath, and she turns around and starts walking up to her ship, just killing herself laughing.
All right. Well then, Jason, would you and anybody else really? There's
Yes.
enough to go around.
Oh,
Everybody
yes,
just wants
yeah.
to spread stuff out.
I mean,
planned-
Jason already has like started to unload. Like when
Oh,
Jet
yeah.
starts to
So-
speak like his first 2 words, Jason's already unloading.
Oh, this
the
is
car.
perfect because you guys have all got gear, and you can enhance it by hacking it, and you got explosives. So, yeah, let's do this because we still got to do the after party here. So,
Oh, and
Yeah.
Moose, cook off a lot of bullets. I mean, you brought them. You might as well shoot the shit out of something.
I just take out of my pocket a clacker.
yeah, it's already got the magic boom boom button. So you guys load everything you want into this place. You jump into the invisible plane and lift off. The cool part with an invisible plane, at least this one, is it's invisible from inside too. So it's like you guys are sitting on nothing, just looking out in this. The stars are up. There's just a tiny curve of moon. The northern lights are literally all around you because you're at the North Pole, the only place in the world where you can see the lights in 360 degrees all around you.
My sphincter is clenched so tightly I could make new diamonds.
As
I
you
don't
lift
like this.
up and away, start to spiral out, the explosion goes off below you, lifting ice and all the wonderful electronic wondrousness from Jason, just adding a blue and green and purple tinge to it all. The sparkling yellow explosions of the ammunition cooking off, the fireworks of the missiles and the grenades popping off. It is reported for It is reported for decades as the most amazing Aurora Borealis. Is that what you called it?
Aurora Borealis.
Aurora Borealis. An unknown Aurora Borealis that only ever occurred once. Somewhere in the megaton range, strangely, but they don't talk about that because it was a near Christmas miracle. So they don't talk about the radioactive bird bath for no birds at the North Pole, composed of piss and hatred. It will be there forever.
Piss and vinegar.
It's almost a wordless flight back because it's almost instant. And you're dropped back off in the city with your pile of diamonds and, in regular people terms, stupidly wealthy. So relatively quickly, what do? I mean, you're at the prime of your life, loaded for bear, all kinds of skills, I think that's the first time I've ever seen you volunteer to go first. Jason, what?
I know.
What do you do?
Oh God, Jason is so ready. Because I've thought long and hard about this.
Yes.
Because I knew this was coming. So Jason has come back again, like you said, loaded for bear, unnamely wealthy. Now Jason doesn't really need money, but he has begun to recognize the use for money. So rather than let it sit there, he has taken some of that to turn himself from the back alley criminal inventor to a reputable, respected inventor. And there are some new products out there in the world. The first being the 5YNC. And it is a keyboard that when you put like your fingerprint on it will, like if you have your hands on it, it will start to recognize your brainwaves and type for you. It is otherwise known as the synced keyboard. There is a tactical vest out there called the M005E.
I didn't get the first one. I did until just now. I didn't get the first one.
And so there's a tactical vest out there called the M005E because I mean his name is as well, right? And it is nearly indestructible, right? Like it is this. I mean, it's this high-end, high-grade tactical vest that can kind of like it's like the Swiss Army knives of tactical vests, right? You can kind of store things in it, pull things out, things like that. And then there is a he kind of took, because Jason also kind of had his own homebrew type of gun, right? And Jet had Mr. Zappy, and he kind of married them together into this beautiful harmony of a fantastic pistol that has like laser precision. That when like it like hits, it like does a little bit of a boom, not like a big one, but like it's more of like a bird shot, and it is obviously called the J3T pistol. So he has created all these things in homage to his brand new friends because he has realized he has friends. So that's kind of what Jason does. Is Jason goes from like the back alley inventor to this like actually
major famous business person. Oh, I love it.
Yes, and those are his 3 most successful products.
Oh, that's marvelous. Thank you. Moose. What do you? Oh, sorry. What? There was an Sorry, I'm gonna nuke you. There was an ums win.
And Jet was actually. I've been thinking a lot about this too. Jet goes in a fairly similar vein. He goes from this sort of combat engineer, not necessarily back alley, but definitely gray or black market engineer. He goes legit with it. Weapons and vehicle manufacturer. He doesn't have like cool "these are my friends" names for the weapons because he's not like creative like that. But he definitely takes a lot of what he learned and a lot of the things that they experimented with, and he's definitely happy to partner with Jason's company. Possibly eventually even just a merger.
I was gonna say canon merger company.
Oh, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. This is the last episode. Anything can happen.
Really
so the two of you become famous, and the great mystery of where you got the wealth to get started is never solved. Moose.
Jason's gonna wonder why Moose keeps referring to that pistol as the pacifier. somewhere in historical documents from the late 1980s and 90s there will be a source to find that answer, but the Moose takes his money and uses it to fortify the shop that he bought in the outskirts of town. Properly kitting it out for building whatever he feels like.
You American Truck Simulator bought a garage and fitted it out. Gotcha.
Yeah, pretty much. This is for
all the bells.
Military upgrades of current vehicles as such. But
And yeah, your
Oh,
connections
right.
all
Time,
your
yeah.
connections all like you a lot more than you're rich now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. Spends a lot of time working on old combustion vehicles and things like that, as well as side projects just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, as the need may arise, still takes a job here and there as
Just to
a
stay sharp.
hired gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
You can't take the fight out of the boy.
So you essentially, compared to these two at least, you stay quiet. You sort of stay in the background. Okay.
Yeah. I only cash out what I need as I need it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's ways to creep, even legitimate diamonds, there's ways to creep them onto the market without anybody realizing they're all coming from the same place. Even now, never mind in the future.
Like to take road trips.
Yeah. Pop them all over the world. Yeah. Yeah. Sync. Over to you, son.
Sync disappears. Well, you know, feedback is nobody knows where he went. That hacker disappeared. What happens is, couple years later, each of them get little private messages. It's just to go see a rave in Night City, and that's where Sync goes. He becomes a DJ, and he just stays completely under the radar.
Wow.
No one really knows what he does when he's not spinning discs, but he that's pretty much what he does. He goes for the quiet life, quiet dance music. He goes off the radar. He's done edge running. He retires.
You also have to be Scottish. I'm sorry, but your stage name is Sync Opate.
Sync.
And because it's opaque, you gotta be Scottish. Sorry. Or is that Irish? Is that Irish? Is the O something?
Nobody's gonna call it.
Yeah.
Right.
Sync Opate.
Frequently mispronounced as opate.
Opate. That's when he's trying to pull foreign women. It's pate. Yeah. So
those Arasaka chicks never know the difference.
As long as it's not sushi, they're happy. So with that, varying levels of fame, but the thing is, nobody ever hears the real story. You can't tell it. Nobody would believe you. Plus, it's too dangerous to stir it up. There's people you don't know. There's elements to this story that could still be out there. So you head on into the rest of your lives. But life is good. And I love the fact that even though you were all multi-bazillionaires at the end of this, you still more or less stuck together. Right after that, you did still sort of at least at the reunions, right at the bar.
I make lots of trips to Night City.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And, you know, I imagine that even Moose's stuff,
like the old,
rather in parallel to what Jason and Jed are doing. I'm sure there's some.
And I mean, just visually, I'm thinking the four of you roll into like one of these meetings, and it's like the mob bosses rolling into Vegas, right? Every red carpet just rolls out, and the happy, Yeah.
The Rat Pack in Night City.
Yeah, exactly.
Occasionally one of the discs that Sync spins is actually Jason.
Yeah. And the visual of that is Jason on the dash of the car as a hula dancer.
Yeah. Because he's learned like how to dance and why it's
fun. Now he's got the moves. Yeah. Okay, sure. I don't know why those are the moves, but yes, it's because the only ones you can see while we're streaming. But with that, a happy ending. I mean, a really happy ending to all of this. Everybody lived. Everybody was happy. So with that, before I get to the thank yous, I want to talk about this this process for me a little bit. I know we're already at 8 o'clock, but I'll keep it quick. I found out a really, really interesting thing when I rewrote this campaign. I could not rewrite it as written. Written in 1990 was absolutely, positively not appropriate for 2022 in several places. So what was considered totally appropriate then, and I remember vaguely cringing when the possibility, it doesn't absolutely happen in this in the module, but the distinct possibility of one or more of the characters being tortured by an NPC torturer in the game was there. And no, I'm not doing that. And then just as bad, if not even worse, is the kidnapping of a complete innocent civilian. So it's again, no, I can tell this story without that. So one of the things I've learned is that in 32 years, we've gotten better at this. Like, this is much safer gaming spaces. This is much, we can have the story without that. So anybody that's saying, well, we're losing when we do this. No, we're not. We just have to be a little more creative. The other thing about this scenario in its original format was it was stupendously repetitive. Oh my God. Every single episode is take something, leave something, take something, leave something. Admittedly, you weren't supposed to run them back to back to back to back, but still, it's a dungeon crawl in all but name, right? So I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we changed it because I learned a lot from that. But boy, did we have to change it. So I think that's all I want to say about that. Because I want to talk about the future. We got new shows. We got shows now Tuesday to Sunday. You know all about those. But 1 week from tonight, I'm going to do the first of 2 tutorials for the game system called Necrobiotic. It's a very different system. It uses cards, partial card decks, and the consequences that you have to offset before you, and the number of successes you can generate. Sounds weird, but show up next week and I'll show you how it works. It's really kind of interesting. And then the week after that, we're going to do character creation for a group that's starting in the new year. Character creation and a brief encounter so that everybody, including me, knows how this system really works and how the cards are going to play out in combat and in other encounters. So, and then the game itself will start in the new year. We have got a number of our regulars. One of them is sitting here. Bison's in this. Also, we've got from our Discord, Wayward Knight, Thunderscape 7, otherwise known as Robin, somebody from one of our offline games that I've been trying to come and join a stream for a long time. I won't say their name because they're not here yet. And possibly an old compatriot. I should be finding out either tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to reach into the deep past and grab somebody and see if they want to come and play this game with us. The world is interesting because tune in next week. It's too long to talk about right now. But this is going to be a medium to long form adventure, so I'm thinking 6 to 12 months. It's going to be here on Saturday night starting in the new year. I'm looking forward to it a lot. It's a very unique world, and it is a spectacularly different mechanic. I want to see it in action a lot. Okay, enough of that. Tuesday through Saturdays, holy crap. Tuesday, we've got Deadlands, last hurrah of Honest John Rackham with the hat and the marshal over there. Then on Wednesdays we have the invisible hat. Then on Wednesdays we have the Deeper Delve, which is a really interesting twist on Fandelver. We got somebody from that here too. Then on Thursday we have Deviant Futures, a D&D game that started in hell and then got worse from there. They've already killed somebody and they're only 6 weeks in. And then on Fridays we alternate, although you'd never know it from our recent performance, The Unwanted, which has turned into kind of a once-a-month show, and the Fun Shots, which I haven't been doing recently. We've got to get back into. Saturdays, we are going to be doing our new show I just talked about, and then Sundays we are using the system Stars Without Number with our new GM Siosa, a magnificent world, a great environment, and an excuse for me to get as camp as I ever wanted to be. So happy, joyous fun all around.
You saying Bang isn't camp?
Yeah, different kind of camp. Different kind.
Okay.
Very different.
Yeah,
kind of
very
camp.
different kind of camp. Yeah. All my characters are a little large. Like I said, normal people don't become adventurers. They become doctors and blacksmiths and shit. But now to the thank yous, so we can get out of here before my throat caves on me completely, because I got no more coffee left.
Oh no.
Thank you very, very much to Bat Kyle, to Roospar, to Bison _ Stonefist, and to Mana _Queen. Thank you all for joining me in this game. I played with you all before. I'm going to play with you all again because you're all amazing. Thank you all for joining me in this, not just for tonight, but for these characters, for this whole adventure. And again, for joining basically blind. You want to do this? And you all went yes. Nobody asked any serious questions. You all just went yes. So thank you for that.
And thank
The
you
answer
to
is
you
usually when we start.
for
Yes.
running it, for putting it
Yes.
together, for
Oh.
putting up with all of our craziness
Oh,
and keeping things
I love
relatively on
shenanigans.
track.
Speaking of which, Just put that up there for a sec. Oh, it didn't work. Where'd he go? Come on.
Ding.
You can do it.
Where's the happy
There it
storyteller?
goes.
There
it
he
goes.
is. Okay, he's gonna disappear in a
Yeah.
second and come back. But I'm just gonna leave him up there for a second while I talk through him. So thank you to all of you. Also, thank you to chat. You guys are here. Some of you are here 5 nights a week. Some of you. Here's the statement. Some of you are here more often than I am. You spend more hours in chat in a week in this channel than I spend streaming on it. So there's not enough hours for me to thank you for all the hours. I just, again, no hair because it's gone. Mind blown. Thank you, all of you for five nights a week. Like, it's gonna be 6 nights a week and people show up every night. It's just mind-numbing. So thank you. And then the people that check it out on YouTube and watch our erratic schedule and our just burst uploads and all that foolishness, thank you too. If you watched all the way here because your big mug is over your mug. Okay, I'll make it go away so you can see me again. But thank you all for that. And that's it except for the big one. Thank you all, because I know you do this. I know every single one of you does this every damn week. So I'm going to ask you to do it again, but I'm also going to thank you for doing it all the times up till now. Please be nice to each other. And thank you for doing it. Good night.
See you next time.